The following program has been rated GE by the Kenya Film Classification Board. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Hello viewer, welcome to our today's episode on your favorite show Chungu Jamii with me, Kate Waliaro. Now we're in the election year and I hope you're hanging in there because this is a year a lot of youths, if you are there as a youth, this is a year you are misused. So I hope you're loving yourself and choosing, making the right decision so that you're not misused. And at the end of the day, by the way, today we are talking about self-love and especially in marriage. And with me, as usual, I'm not alone. I have an expert who is a coach on marriage issues. And I also have another beautiful lady with me who is also big on self-love. She's been through her life in marriage. And the reason as to why I have these two ladies, it's because they have their fair share of marriage life, having issues with self-love, and now they are doing it for themselves. They are thriving in their marriages, in their careers, and that's why they are here with me so that they can help us to understand what is this self-love. And going forward, we want to, to love ourselves, not being selfish, but love ourselves in the right way and thrive in our marriages and make the best out of ourselves. Usually they say, how you love yourself is how you teach others to love you. And that's why we are doing this today. You're most welcome to join us this conversation on our SMS line 21144 and in all our social media handles at GBS TV Africa. So make sure your comment is there. Whatever question you do have, feel free to send it our way. We have experts with me here. So you're most welcome, my dear ladies.
Thank you.
We start with the coach.
Hi, again, Gakinjero here. Always happy and it's a pleasure to be on GBS TV and especially on Chungu Jamii, where we can handle issues of relationships, family, marriage, and all that. I'm a relationship mentor or coach, as Kate loves calling me. And of course, I do other things to earn a living and to raise a family. So, yeah. And I'm happy to be here and talk about self-love.
Oh, you're most welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Kate, for having me. How are you, viewer? I know many can relate to me. I always say this on the other side of Women's View, and I'm so glad that today I'm on Chungu Jamii. It has been my dream to be here, and thank you so much. So I'm a host, I'm a photographer, professional photographer, professional farmer. Many people ask me where I earn a living, so I'm that girl. I'm diverse. I'm also a business lady, and I did psychology, so I know I love being on her side, but today let me just watch your side. I have YouTube channels, and yeah, I'm glad. Let's talk about self-love, and I'm that person who advocates for self-love for ladies. So thank you so much for joining us.
You're most welcome.
Yeah.
I'm very honored to be having you here on this set today because first of all, as you introduced yourself, you're a jack of all trades but doing it anyway. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, the reason as to why we are talking about self-love, maybe you've had a lot of people and a lot of young mothers, young people in marriage, maybe, I don't know about the gentlemen, but a lot of ladies, when they get married and the children have come, they get lost somewhere.
Yeah.
A lot of them get lost. They get detached with their dreams and they remain very overwhelmed. And they're in this frantic race of trying to catch up with their dreams, trying to do their careers and also be, that same mother, that good mother and a good wife. But then a lot of them are very overwhelmed. They have lost touch with even who they are. So, and that's why we're having this conversation, because I know you have been through it, and I'm sure even Coach has a story, maybe she'll tell us about it.
Absolutely.
So to start with, self-love somehow feels, maybe it's to someone maybe who is there and does not understand this, maybe they're feeling this is very selfish.
Yeah.
So Coach, able to eleze what is self-love?
I would define self-love as the regard you give for your well-being.
The regard you give for your
your
well-being.
well-being and for your happiness. So you want to be well, you want to be happy.
Yes.
That regard or that effort or that appreciation you put around making sure you want to be a whole, well human being who is happy, who is contented, all that is self-love. The effort you put, the steps you make to make sure I'm a whole human being.
Yes.
I'm sober, I'm at peace,
Yeah.
I'm achieving what I want to achieve, my passions,
I'm thriving.
I'm thriving. All that, you call it self-love.
Okay.
And I would define it in 3 ways. So there's physical, how you feel about yourself. Or no, not how you feel, how you see yourself.
How you see yourself.
Has a lot to do with your physical look, your beauty, how your hair is made, the environment you're living in, what you can see with your eyes.
Yeah.
Then there's emotional, or let's call it mental, your mental well-being. You're at peace, you're not frustrated, you're not depressed, you're sober. All that goes into your mental well-being, or giving yourself some mental self-love, where you take care of what goes into your mind. And that's where you also have the self-acceptance. You accept yourself the way you are. I'm not perfect, but I accept myself. I'm a work in progress, you know, all that.
I love that.
Then there's a psychological one. That is how you treat yourself, the self-respect you give to yourself, how you value yourself, how you even place yourself in the market. For example, like how she's in the business world. How does she place herself how does she market what she sells? The value she puts on herself. She's a photographer. She values herself. She won't charge her work cheaply because she wants to fit in a status quo. She believes in her work. She respects her work. That self-respect is the psychological one. And how you present yourself, like you said, how you present yourself to people, that is how they will address you.
Sure.
They say, how you dress how you want to be addressed.
Yes, yes.
So how you present yourself to people, how you treat yourself is how other people will treat you. Yes, I would define all that as self-love. Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
I
That's
never
nice.
knew that before I get married. Shiro, did you know that?
No, we don't. Actually, I would say, I think people before they go to marriage, it's very good to listen to marriage coaches, so you know, so that you can know the life that is in front of you. Because there's very many things I didn't know, and most, you know, when you're getting married and we have all those parents. From both sides, they tell you to go and respect your man, make him happy. Do I even know how to make a man happy? Did you know?
No, I didn't.
So I thought just making a man happy is satisfying him there, and also
In bed.
in bed, being a prowess. Nakwambia, sema kugugu sasa.
Yes.
You do all those things just to please him. I thought that's how to make him happy, and also cook nice meals for him.
Yeah.
So I didn't know there was more.
There's a lot more.
You know, to that. And then inanipata kwa marriage kama surprise. Like you feel like saa zingine on my side when I want to maybe bring the light in it. Unajua watu usema, hey, my life is not good. And then people outside there don't know, si good aje, maybe ni juhupiki vizuri. No, it's not those things, eh? So when I got into marriage, I realized there's more than cooking, there's more than being a prowess in bed, there's more than having respect, or rather kunyamaza kwa public, ndio mpe respect, you know. Those are things tunaambiwa. Na ukienda mahali lazima uonyeshane mko pamoja. So I did not know there was the part that I would be so much pissed off with him, with his behaviors towards me, that I can't even stand kumuona akiongelesha watu na nimpe respect, you know. That's way too big. How can you respect a man who has not respected you in the house? There was just so much. I didn't know there was a way that I wanted this man to treat me, to talk to me, you know, to make me feel this person I've always dreamt of. So marriage in a way inakupata huelewi, you don't understand. Nini what am I doing? What institution is this? You know, when I go to universities, I know what I want. I'm going to pursue education. I know what I am supposed to do. But in marriage, you are
don't know.
confused.
You try and find yourself there when you're already in there.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
actually, a lot of people are into that. They actually don't know who they are,
Yes.
myself included. I knew I wanted to get married, but I didn't know who. I actually didn't have values that were
Guiding you.
Yeah, and even a lot of people, as we were growing up, we were told love the other person. There is no point in time I was told love yourself. When I somehow seemed to love myself, you're being selfish. So self-love, as you put it, I personally, and a lot of other people, never got to feel the responsibility of knowing who they are and loving themselves and feeling enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kate, I think now that we have a marriage coach, there's something I would want her to touch and to make every lady differentiate. You know, when we talk about self-love, and I go tell my man, sasa nataka implement self-love, what they think is you now becoming independent, you are pushing him away. You understand? So the self-love, yenye mimi nataka, the one you've defined, is not what this man in the house thinks or figures you to be. Anafikiria, you now want kumkalia. That's why you're calling it self-love. Umeelewa?
You're being selfish.
Yes.
in short.
So ukimwambia self-love, what? Like, what don't you have? You have everything.
Yeah. You know, the self-love is a very delicate thing, and you must handle it with balance, because you can go to both extremes, where you're not showing self-love to yourself, so your self-esteem is low, you're not developing yourself to become a better person. Or you go to the other extreme, whereby you're self-centered, you're selfish, you want to be independent, you're lustful, because you're only thinking about yourself only. So everything you see, you want. So we now want to bring the balance of self-love, whereby I want to make sure I am becoming what God created me to become. I am paying attention, putting in the details, because that is what self-love is, making sure I become what God wanted me to become. I submit myself to God to work on me, and I also do the work that I am supposed to do to develop myself to be a better person. And the reason why self-love keeps coming is because you do not want to get lost in another person's life, or in another person's dream, or in another person's venture. You want to also develop yourself to become the best version of what God wanted you to become. And this is what I would say, in a setup, a marriage, you need to understand it's a daily process. And you will not come and tell your husband, I want to practice self-love. Of course, first of all, in Kenya today, we know every good word has been misused.
That's true.
When you talk of self-love, of course, there is that misunderstanding. With the era of social media, you can see everyone is in the coast, self-love. Sunbasking, self-love.
Everything
Getting
self-love.
a skin tan, self-love. Going out with your girlfriends for a glass of whatever you take, self-love. All those things are being misconstrued as self-love. Look at the word sponsor. I mean, sponsor, now you can't just say, you even say, hush, sponsor. I'm looking for a sponsor for my son's education. You don't want to even shout, because it's already a bad word. So even self-love, the connotation that has been attached to it is not the right thing. But like I said, it's a process. It's something you grow into every day. And you don't have to wake up and tell your husband, sasa mimi ujue kutoka leo nafanya self-love. No, you just become a wise woman and say, from today, I'm feeling like, since I've been in the house for so long, I want to be doing a jog every evening. That you jog. No, I was reading something and I realized actually a jog 5 kilometers every day will help me into ABCD, or it will shape me up and stuff like that. In a very calm way. Pole pole, you realize, okay, now you've started jogging. The other thing you can do to also build yourself, you want to read a book. Yeah, I want to be reading 2 books every 1 month. You don't have to say ninataka sasa self-love. Because of course it will be misunderstood. Absolutely.
Now, okay, a lot of people are in this situation where they are very overwhelmed. And I believe a lot of people who are also watching us today are at a point where maybe they are starting a relationship, and they could, if they are not careful, they could get here where they get lost and feel overwhelmed and they don't know where to go or where. So how, first of all, do we even get ourselves in that murky situation?
How do we get ourselves, or how do we get out?
How do we get ourselves into that?
We get ourselves into that situation of not knowing ourselves by getting lost in somebody else's dream or vision and stuff like that. One. Secondly, nobody told us. Nobody told us that after marriage, you have a life, that there's a life in there in marriage. Nobody told us that besides being a mother, you have a career. Nobody told us that besides being a mother, you have a body to look after. Nobody told us those things. You are only told, go into marriage, you're going to serve the man, and after years of serving the man, you will start serving children, whom you will serve until God knows when. Because by the time you're finishing to serve the children, grandkids are here. So nobody told us. We didn't know it any other way. It's now in our generation that we are beginning to realize, that women also have an equal calling to do stuff, to change things in the world and stuff like that. And because nobody told us, the moment when you start realizing that there's something more, you start being called a rebel or an independent woman.
Shiro, yourself, you've gotten there. You've gotten
yes, I have.
lost.
Actually, I wanted to tell you that I think it's good, and even before then, I'm looking for that person who doesn't even know whether they are lost. You know, what are the instances that I could be lost, you know? Let me give my idea where at one time I felt I was lost. So I get into marriage. I choose, God chooses for me the best husband in the world. So before I got married, I could see myself with him, but a different person. You know, he lets me implement the whatever self I want to be in future and gives me a chance. Now I get into marriage, my kind of being lost is not the one that career yangu I go through, ama nini apana. The kind of lost I felt, I have twins, you know. So when they came, I'm telling you, mimi sijaile mtoto, I've never. Hata ile looking after our siblings, I don't know why that passed me. I'm the firstborn, but I don't know how it was passed. That I've never looked after any kid. So now I have two. Where I'm telling you, I have a house help, but I didn't see the work of the house help. There was so much
to do.
The bit of being a mother, I think that thing changes you.
It overwhelms you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a surprise.
I didn't know what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What should I do next? You know, I was just there. But then I stayed for a very long time because, of course, when you're a new mother, you don't know. You're not just supposed to look after the kids for now. So you don't think about anything. You don't even think you can read a book. You know, I'm a writer. I loved that. I used to do that. But when I got the babies, since I got the babies na sahi, I think hata sijai andika kitu yote. But before, I could even show my man the things I've written, you know, and he could love them. So it came to a point that I felt it was an awakening moment. Like, Shiro, what is happening? Because I used to be very sad. I didn't know why. I used to cry for no reason. My emotions were different. But why was that? Yes, my man had done totally nothing. You know,
Wrong.
Nothing wrong. You know, he was there. He was supporting me financially, yes. Emotionally, kidogo. You know, because he's also busy wanting to provide everything for the family. We cannot blame our husbands for that. Sometimes we blame ourselves because, like she has said, I love the way the coach is saying, you can start by jogging. You know, we don't know what that will help you with, but it really changes you, Kate. So, and then I realized, I'm alone. I have 2 kids in the house, a husband, but I am alone. So my emotions were different. And then I started seeing as if nothing to me is going on. Shiro stopped being Shiro when she got married. So this man anaendelea tu na vitu zake. Mimi namsupport tu, akikuja niambie dreams zake zenye anataka kufanya kesho. I hope it's okay me using Kiswahili. And I'm supporting him, you know, you're the best, you have it, you know, everything. But I came to realize, what about me? I wanted to be someone, you know, the one I've said, I don't know who I am. I didn't want to be a pilot, a doctor, and be just, nikuwe tu mahali pamoja, mimi niko caged, you are a doctor. I wanted to be all these things. But now they're not happening. And then I felt I'm very sad because there's nothing I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think also, like now in your case, what I would say to a lady out there who is probably going through that challenge or has started that journey of self-love and realizing who they are, it's a process. So also give yourself the time to grow. I think sometimes we also become too hard on ourselves as human beings.
Sure.
We become too hard on ourselves. Na unasahau ya kwamba it's a gradual, it's a journey. Yeah.
Let me cut you short so that we take a sip of this water and then we'll be right back.
Perfect.
My dear viewer, we are going on a short break. I hope you are internalizing all these things about self-love and what it really is. It is not about, you know, you just doing, buying yourself something. It goes deeper than that, and you've heard for yourself. It is you knowing who you really are and what your values are, you know, and attaching all that to yourself without getting lost. And you can hear instances of someone here getting lost. So take a short break. We'll be right back.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, viewer. We continue with this conversation on self-love and especially in marriage. You can join in the conversation on our SMS line 21144 and in all our social media handles at GBS TV Africa. Now, before we went on break, our coach told us what exactly self-love is, and I want to recap this one for you. Self-love is regarding your own well-being and your own happiness, your self-respect and self-acceptance. You accepting you, you loving you, you are, you know, making an effort for your own well-being and, you know, all you, not anyone else but you. Now, coach, there are these people, we are the people, yeah? Who have been through all these, yeah? Someone want to move forward from, you know, they've been lost, they are in the process of finding themselves, and they want to move forward, being authentic, pursuing their own dreams, their authentic dreams, the dreams that God, you know, had for them when they put them here. Because we've seen there are those who will follow the dreams of their partners, but we want to be authentic. So that at the end of life, someone will be, yeah, I've lived my own
and God will
life.
tell you, well done, good and faithful servant.
Yes.
Yes. So how we help those people and how you come out of it. First thing is always come to the realization of where you are and accepting that, oh, by the way, I am totally lost. Mazee, mimi, I'm in a world of my own. Because a lot of people who are unable to change is because they're in denial. But now when you come to accept yourself and say, you know what, this is where I am and this is me and I feel stuck. And start looking for ways to get unstuck from that situation. And especially in marriage, let me tell you an area we get stuck a lot is in the area of offense. Sasa wacha hata ati motherhood umekwama na watoto.
Offense.
You see the area of offense and bitterness and forgiveness, we get stuck there. We never seem to move on from those two domains we have around the house. So what it does to you, it drains you, it fills you with resentment. You start looking at yourself in the eyes of your partner. So you even when you do stuff in the house for a long time, you're doing things kumfilisha. And you're thinking he sees it. You're thinking ati ana feeling hiyo kumfilisha, unataka kumfilisha, you think he feels it and he doesn't. So it hurts you more when you realize, yeah, he's moving on with life. Wewe ulibaki pale kwa ile ka issue mulikuwa nayo. You've never settled it in your heart. Yeah, he's moving on. So you're not practicing self-love. because you're offended with someone who is not offended with you. You're carrying bitterness with somebody who already moved on from that situation. And we ladies, we get stuck at that place. You need to unstuck yourself by saying, you know what, let me accept. I've been a child on this one. I've behaved immaturely on this one. Mi wacha tu nikubali mazee hapo ni mimi. It's me who is just behaving like a kid. And you'll realize how happy you will feel after you've eventually let an issue go. Because that's one area. Before you even talk about the kids and everything, who really come and invade our spaces and our lives, that area of offense, it really puts us down as ladies especially, because it will affect everything. It will affect our communication. It will affect even how you dress. It will affect even sex. It will affect everything. And you get so stuck. So I think that's one area we need to unstuck ourselves. But the first step, you start by acknowledging and accepting that actually I have been doing injustice to myself. Ile unajiambianga, by the way, ni mimi naumia. By the way, history yote, ni mimi too. Let me do this for myself. And unasemanga, let me just forgive him for my own sake. Let me brush off that offense. And when you do that, you realize you get energy now to start moving on. Because you can also be stuck in an area for too long. You don't even have the energy, the motivation. You normalize that period of being down. You normalize it so much, you no longer have the drive to move on.
Ladies, I think there's also this thing I felt that I can also say we could use self-love in it, where you want to move forward, but there's now, I don't know what I'll call it, but realizing that my husband, I should, most of the time we put so much attention on this human being called the husband, such that we want everything we do, or rather everything I want to do, him to accept and say yes, yes, and positive and everything. So that when he does not say yes and also maybe support you, you feel not motivated and you want to quit, even if it's something that you've always wanted to do. So there's this, the thing that the action of you being okay with, it's not the wrong thing I'm doing, it's the right thing. It's my dream. My husband is not okay with it, is not in support with it. I don't get angry with him. I'm okay even if he does not do anything towards it. So long as he's not saying, no, don't do it in my house. If he's giving, you want to do it, just do it. You know? And then many ladies are caught sasa hapo, coach. Na feel hapana. Bwanangu angenipea go ahead, unajua. Mbona alikata, sasa hii kitu itafail, you know. He's not happy with it. So, hata mimi sitafanya, wacha basi tukae, you know.
Yeah, that's when you learn your partner, ujue, because there are some things they'll strongly put an affirmative yes. Other things he may not say an affirmative yes, but he will let you do it. You need to learn your spouse, because it can be both ways. You need to learn your spouse and know when he behaves in a certain way, he's good with it, so let me move on. I have his blessing. Even for me, sometimes it happens. Because like in the situation of our marriage, I'm the outgoing one.
Yes.
I am the one who wants, and I get an idea like this, I want to run with it immediately. And sometimes I will share it with him, say, oh, okay. And it ends there. He'll not comment, he'll not say anything, he'll not say no, he'll not say yes, but he's okay. So I have learned to know when he's okay and when he's not okay. I have learned to know that sometimes he may, when he's not okay, he will tell me. There are things he will do, and it will, maybe it's not like he didn't want to tell you no, but he's taking time to also think through it. So I bring it up after 2 or 3 days. Then nikisikia response yake, that's when I'll know, oh, by the way, kumbe ile time ni kunyamaza, alinyamaza na uzuri ama na ubaya. So you also apply your wisdom as a woman. But don't how will I say, if you have an idea, like let me give you another place where really we need to practice and to be very grounded on what we do. Do you know that most people who have houses or homes, people who've jengered homes, do you know most of them, the idea came from the lady? Many times, a man is out there working. And a lady now sees, jamaa amefanya kazi sana. Mimi wacha nimpeleke the next level. No, the woman starts bringing the issue of a house, a home, a house, a new car, a house. Sana hata tukuangi kwa gari sana ni nyumba. Because a woman wants to make sure uko stable that way.
Yeah. Yes.
So, unless you're unless you're wise, you may be stuck at thinking, bwanangu anafanyanga kazi, he doesn't want to build, he doesn't want to do this. But who said you as a woman, you cannot bring that idea to the table? You trust in yourself, you believe in yourself, you have a dream to own a home, put it on the table, discuss it, and help him actualize that dream.
Yeah.
Wow. Because men are not multitaskers like us. A lady can handle 4 projects in the home. A man wants, tuko project ya kuweka maji, tuweke maji. Tuko project ya he's thinking, niko project ya kuwekea bibi yangu biashara, tufanye hiyo.
We can't do anything
We can't do biashara.
Tuweke maji.
No. One project at a time to the
And
very
I
end.
think that now are something that now inakuwa sasa shida. If now your man does not understand that as a woman, I just don't want to focus on one thing. Because now I know the capability of my husband. By the way, it's also something I think people need to learn. Knowing the capability of your husband so that you don't push him too way long. That anafeel sasa now this woman apana. You know? So because I know the capability of my husband, I know what he can do or he cannot. And when I see that he thinks he can't do it, I tell him how, I know you can do it. So I think I'm loving that part.
As now the support system.
Yeah, in a very wise way, the way she has said.
So before we even came to this point, Shiro had talked in a way to show that the beliefs that we hold as people, as a person, the beliefs you hold, the beliefs I hold, they are also key in pushing us down this lane of self-love or, lack of it. Where someone believes that now the scenario of marriage, that if my husband, if I'm married, he must affirm a project I'm doing, and if he does not, I feel like the project will fail. So a lot of, let me say, the African society that pushes that man is the head. Yeah, that is true. And also a woman has to be affirmed in a way to do these things. Now, if the man is not seeing the project as a viable project, but you, Shiro, can see these are viable projects. Now, because the man does not see it as so, you just let it go. Because you believe, because I have been raised this way, then it will fail.
What happens is this, because say I'm telling you, I'm the outgoing one. I'm the one who will always be throwing things on the table, putting ideas on the table many times. And not that my husband doesn't think. It's just that him is very long term. Project zake ni ma project. Mimi niko na tu vitu tu hapa twingi nataka tu accomplishiwe twingi.
Takulisha familia.
Pesa ya haraka. This is the thing. It's always good. Check with your husband, of course. It's always good to consult. But there are things he may not buy into that idea immediately. Like I said, check even after 2 days. See where his mind is at. Because when you tell a man, and you realize, when you tell me something, twende tau, I'll give you an answer at that point. Siwezi ama twende. Like, I'm not in a position to.
Yes.
But a man will think, what was I doing today? What was my calendar? Am I able to go? Am I not able to go? He will think through things first.
Yes.
So you may tell him an idea, or he doesn't respond, ama he doesn't see it's viable. Check again after 2 or 3 days. You see. Then also, let's also learn, we as ladies, it's also part of self-love, to be contented sometimes. Because I think tunakuanga na mbio nyingi sana. And then inatuharakisha hii Nairobi. And it's just because we are not contented with where we are. It's also part of self-love. Because for me, I've realized, saa zile niko na mbio nyingi sana, my husband always brings the soberness. Sometimes you need a voice of reasoning.
Sure. That one, sure.
Because you can go out of the way, Maze, and run your own race alone. So sometimes he brings in that balance. He brings the voice of reason. He helps you sober. He shows you an aspect you had not seen. You had this idea all planned out. Then he shows you something else. He shows you by the way watu ukoniwa. Usitrust your mwanaume, don't you see he has an ulterior motive? So hiyo wewe ukombio, you're thinking this guy can help me, amekwambilia deal, nini, and you're imagining me, I want to get money, I'm actualizing. Then he brings another side of it. It sobers you up, you slow down. Because it's not about the speed you put. It's the calculated steps you make. You may run too fast, then you realize, oh, I was trying self-love. I was trying to actualize a dream. Then you realize actually umegonga mwamba. So, in as much as our husbands may act as if sometimes they're not rubber stamping everything, it is for a good cause. Actually, sometimes when he rubber stamps everything, me, I even wonder.
Why?
Kwambona hivyo haraka.
Yes. Sometimes it's good usi rubber stampiwe kila kitu. Hata kwa ofisi. If the accountant is rubber stamping everything without checking, there is a question. He has to scrutinize. And I think sometimes it's good when in the process and in the journey of discovering ourselves and doing and pursuing our passions and pursuing our dreams, it's very good to have that person who gives you the voice of reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
I also do. What I would say, I'm not saying I'm so much relying on the rubber stamp, but mimi, wacha tu niseme, because there's that feeling of there's someone else who is higher than me. By the way, a husband figure, wacha tu tuseme, is very important in the house.
Very.
Because let's look even after, at the way we bring out the kids. Sisi, we shout a lot. That man will come and just say a very soft word and the kids are very much controlled. So that is the same thing that happens in the things that we do. In that self-love, I think also, ladies, is nice to understand that you're not doing self-love you're not being selfish.
Yes.
It's self-love, na yeye ako ndani, the babies are inside, the investments are inside.
You want to be whole so that you can present yourself even to your family as a whole human being.
Yes.
Because when you're whole, you're able to serve your family better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also the thing they're saying ati, hey, mi nataka kufanya vitu zangu. I also do my things. But in the society, they see my husband. The way you are saying, you bring something on the table, iki come through, then who is seen?
It is the man.
It's the man.
And thank God it is the man.
Yes, and it's a very, me, I don't want.
Can be very proud.
Alafu, imagine you are going in a family gathering and then people know it's the woman. It doesn't make him feel good because there is also the ego of a man. So the thing that we brought in, ilikuwa, it's very okay to fail.
Yeah.
So that's one rule that we brought up when now we were niniaje tutakuwa tukifanya investments because we must have one, but we have to accept that naeza fanya project fail, it's okay. We are not blaming each other.
And how do you practice self-love in the face of adversity? When things are not working.
When we come back, we'll talk about that. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Now, my dear viewer, I hope you're coming along into this conversation and you can see for sure self-love is preparing you to be whole so that you can present yourself to your family, to your spouse and to your children and even to everyone that is around you as a whole person who is, thriving and doing everything as, you should. And we have talked about also failure, but we are also coming back to talk about it. So we take a sip of water on this side and please don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, viewer. We continue on this conversation on self-love in marriage. Now, before we went on break, we've seen how even you as a lady or as a gent somewhere, they also get lost, I believe. Partnering with your partner on moving forward on the projects that you do have, submitting is also part of self-love because you don't want to be in strife because being in conflict, now that kills it.
Yes.
And coming back, we also want to know what are the habits that we can cultivate so that now we be on this journey and we can call ourselves a people who are in self-love.
I think we need to develop a very healthy lifestyle.
That's the first thing
No,
I would
Coach,
say.
let me cut you short. Before we went on break, there's
Yes.
a point you were giving us
How
on
to
adversity.
yeah, when
Yes,
it's time
yes.
for adversity, maybe we can start there. How to deal with adversity and still remain somebody who loves themselves. When you love yourself, you'll accept every challenge and circumstance of life that you go through. You will become a critical thinker, and you will know that this problem I am going through at this point is temporary. So you're not drowned in the adversity. You're able to go through situations with a head held high. Tongue twister. Yeah, and you will embrace those hardships because that's what makes you. Is it like, for example, when you lack money, you know very well how to behave around seasons when you have no money. You're not beating around everybody and getting mad and looking for dubious ways to make money so that you feel comfortable, so that you feel affirmed. No, you will understand this is just a season and I'm able to go through it. The other thing is cultivating a healthy lifestyle. Your routines, you know, the kind of friends you keep. How is their behavior? What kind of lifestyle are you portraying? And you'll be able to reach your goals. You know, healthy lifestyle including taking enough sleep. Do you know sisi wa mama saa ingine mtu atakangi kulala. Unajipata midnight you're still washing and cleaning and doing what? Sometimes give yourself a break. Make a nice meal, eat. Sio kila siku ugali mala. And it's not like you don't have money. Ni ile tu because you're so busy, your attention is so, you're spread so thin because your attention is in 101 places. Take some rest. That's a very good healthy lifestyle that you can do. I had said about taking a jog, you know, and all that. And these things will help you build your confidence. Let me give you an example. Like when I did my college training, after high school, I came to college. Me, I suffered a lot of low self-esteem. I don't know why. I think it's because in our family, the expectation was so high, you know, to live up to a certain expectation. And not just by my parents, but even the people my parents were mentoring. Because my parents, my dad was doing a lot of church work and he was a teacher. My mom, the same. She's a teacher. So you can imagine the number of people who passed through their hands to mold them. So they're expecting the same of us, the children. Ni kama vile unasikianga watoto wa pasta wanaweza aje haribika, you know. So mimi, I lived a life, low self-esteem because I'm not being able to attain that high expectation. Even in our house, you had to be clean. My mom was such a perfectionist, you know, the house is clean. Akiingia hivyo, anataka kukuta kila kitu imepangwa, you know. The house is always clean. The shamba is well done, everything. So growing up, I felt like I'm never meeting the expectations. I'm never meeting the expectations. So when I came to college, and I did very well, and then I came back and did advanced my course again, but in the same college. I realized my self-esteem just went up. My confidence just went up. Like, I think juu ya hiyo kusoma and doing so well, and I found something to work with. Because even in high school and primary, mimi masomo ilikuwa inaingia ikitoka. It's like I was really forced. And it's not like there was no money at it to take me through school, but it's just what I was going through around that time. And then teenagehood. You know, sometimes we expect so much of our children and we are not even assisting them to get there. Unamwambia, oh, somangi, soma. But you're not assisting that child. So finally, when I discovered myself and I was able to do all these courses and everything, I realized my confidence went up. And right now, I can walk in anywhere, I can do anything and stuff like that. So you have to develop that very healthy lifestyle. And finally, be satisfied with life, the way it comes. The Bible says, godliness with contentment is great gain. You're practicing godliness. You are contented with what you have at that time. It's a great gain for you. So even in your journey of self-discovery and in your journey of self-love, you're not struggling to be like someone else. You're not looking at pictures on Instagram and you want to replicate the same at the same time. Guys went to Coast for holiday. You're thinking, me, I'm also going to Coast. Mazesi ni self-love. Ndio huyo, ushaanza kudistress. You can practice self-love from the level you're at. It's not for Nairobians, even in Ushago. There are things you can do that can make you practice self-love.
Shiro, you've told us you've been lost before. At some point, you are a housewife. and you were lost and you didn't know where you were headed.
Yes.
But today, when you talk of who you are, there's a lot that you're managing, and you're doing a great job. And how did you even manage that transition? Was your partner supportive, or you managed this by yourself?
No, I didn't do it by myself. And first you have to realize in a very positive way that it's okay to have a break for you to realize that I'm lost, and then it's in the middle of getting lost that you get your way. If you'll never be lost, you'll never get your way. So most probably if you are stagnating, it's because you've never been lost. So people need to feel okay by getting lost, because that is the moment. I know then I was so much emotional, but now I know that that moment was very great for me. It was the best time in my life, because it's a phase that made me realize I need to be someone else. So in all this, the transition was very okay, because one, I had a partner who made me realize it's okay, you are not alone, I'm going to help you. And then I remember us having this conversation and him showing me how good I am, because I became a very great mom. I learned to be a mom. I learned to be a wife, because, you know, when you're inside the house and then you can still treat this man with respect and be okay with him still in the house, know that you're a good wife. So he made me first realize how good I was in that phase, and then helped me to get out of it. How? By supporting me financially and accepting the things I wanted to become. So it's not easy for you to know what you want to become when you've been lost. So you also need a help of a person. So I had some friends that I knew, yes, them walikuwa tu in one line, but I knew I can do this. One thing, you need to know your ability. So me, I knew my ability. Juu nikiwa shule, hata nikiulizwa na mwalimu, what do you want to become when you grow up? I did not say a doctor, I did not say a teacher. I just told him, I want to become rich.
You know, you're capable of attracting all these dollars.
So I did not want to be bound. So, and that is the same question my husband asked. I remember him asking me now, because there was that process of him me noticing that he's feeling what, even if hajui, you know, but which is very important for husbands to support their wives, especially.
He felt the situation that you were at, and he really wanted to help you.
And I knew, sahi najuaga hakuwa naifeel vile, you know, when I see you doing that, I see you lost, I feel it. You know, mimi mwanamke na feel. But he was just concerned with Kenya namwambia. And then he made me feel that he feels me. He's with me in this. So he made me realize myself. We went through it together. What do you want to become? Now, because you want to become this big person, I can only help you step up. Na kama stepping stone, I'll help you emotionally, financially. That is how the transition was sweet, because I had a person behind me. And then he started by telling me I can do what I love. I started watching movies that are self-love and seeing what I can do. And then I started now working out pia. I started having breaks with the kids and meeting people who have ideas in life. And that is how and then I came to realize I can do all these things. So, and that is where we implemented our photography company. I went to farming, I went to business, and he was there supporting me. Even to date, I wouldn't do anything without him.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Wow, that's amazing. At least that's one marriage that is working.
You have
All
your
round,
significant
you know,
other.
all round,
Very strong with you. Now, Coach, there are those people who we have talked to already, but they are not in the situation that maybe their partners are
even
not
supporting.
Yes. So give hope and talk to that person.
There is so much hope. And the first, like I said, the first step is acknowledge and understand that actually you're stuck. And then on your own, you know, you may have a husband who is not supporting you, but you have a parent, you have a friend, you have other people who are supporting you. Look for little things you can start with. And like I said, jog, do a walk. Do you know, just being out walking around your compound is, even around the estate, it's an eye-opener. That breath of fresh air, it gets you out of the place where you are stuck. Read a book. I mean, I don't think your husband will beat you because he found you reading a book.
Yes.
And if he does, read it in the toilet.
read these other
Use
ones.
applications.
Yes.
They're very
Yes, use an app.
The audiobooks.
Yeah.
and the
Read
others.
something. Read something on personal
It helps.
development.
Sure.
Read the Bible.
Yes,
It is the main manuscript for our lives. I mean, that's where our whole lives are put in. I mean, that's where everything meets.
Yes.
Read the Bible. Now, what is happening to you as you're reading, you're getting another person's point of view.
Yes.
Your mind is opening
Yeah,
up.
sure.
You're beginning to desire. A new desire is getting created in you.
Yes.
Because desire can also be imparted.
Yeah.
Passion can also be impacted. I can see the way you do something so passionately. Like for me, I get people around me because I cook. I get people around me when they are seeing me cook. They desire. And I can impact that upon them by training them. I can call them, tell them now, as I cut the vegetables, cut the nyama.
Yeah.
Pole pole, I impact that desire on them. So as you're reading that book, even if desire had died or passion had died, inaanza tena kufufuka. You know, wake up, take a bath every morning. Yes. Do you know sometimes you get stuck and you're so depressed you don't even to leave the bed. Rise up, take a bath, make your bed. Begin walking around the house like you have shughuli even if you don't have. You know, do something different than what you have been doing.
Exactly.
And you don't need your husband's permission to do some of these things in the house.
That's true.
You don't need to have a good job. And sometimes it's even a change of work environment. Sometimes, because you're not saying you're only stuck as a housewife, you can be stuck as a wife,
Yes.
but within your work environment. Start looking for promotions. Start applying. If there's an opening in a department that you would want, you can say, I'm interested. Say, for example, you're working in a financial institution. You can say, I'm an accountant, but of late I have started developing an interest for HR. Could I get 2 hours every day? You write to your manager, 2 hours every day to just sit in and watch what the HR is doing. Get ideas, get creative.
Yes.
Because you know at the end of the day, you want to do that. Like,
Yeah.
Start from where you are. Very, very simple steps. Yeah.
Thank you very much, ladies. This has been eye-opening, and I'm sure it's
Yeah.
empowering for a lot of people out there. And because time is running out on us, I wish you could give your parting shot, starting with you, Shiro.
Yeah, so I would say self-love makes you feel good and confident. So if you're a lady there stuck in whatever situation you are in, there is always hope. And first, it's good to realize that I'm lost, and then you can be found. And there's a lot in the society, you know. There is so much to be offered outside there. So find people, and as she's saying, learn how to read. By the way, unajua Waafrika hatupendi kusoma. By the way, that thing helps. It's therapeutic. And it's always good. So thank you so much for being with us, and I hope you've gotten something with yourself.
Yeah.
Coach.
So in your journey of self-love, the greatest thing that you can do is to discover God's purpose for your existence.
Yes.
Because even if you do all the self-love you can do and you're living somebody else's life, it will still be vain.
Yeah.
So the best thing you can do is discover what is God's original intention for your life and begin to pursue that. That is your starting point in discovering yourself and in doing self-love. Again, in your journey of self-love, do not succumb to peer pressure. There's a lot of pressure out there to become this, to become that. I want to be the next this, I want to be the next that. That is not self-love. So long as you're looking at somebody else's life and you want to replicate that in your life, that is not self-love. You're going down a drain. And very soon you'll be depressed because you did not get the satisfaction you needed. So find out what is God's original plan for your life and do not succumb to the pressure.
Wow.
Yes, thank you.
This has been beautiful. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you.
I'm very honored to have listened to this alongside my viewer. Now, my dear viewer, we are coming to the end of this episode, but I hope you have gotten yourself very heavy points. We've been told by our coach and our dear lady here, Shiro, that the very beginning is first of all to discover your the purpose that God created you for. When you discover that, then you can move forward to first even accepting the situation that you are at, that is the beginning of it, or realizing that yes, I'm stagnating, yes, I'm stuck, yes, I'm lost. You accept that situation, and then next, now you start cultivating a healthy culture for yourself, a healthy lifestyle, through reading, through eating right, through jogging. And when you're going out on these, you will get fresh ideas, you will meet new people, you will get, you know, new ideas that you did not have before. The next thing is being satisfied. You know, this, I think it will come with not first of all looking at what others have and what others are achieving, but doing your race as you. Remember, this whole self-love is about you as a person, not the other person. And also thinking, Gaki has told us, godliness without
Godliness with contentment is great gain.
godliness with contentment is great gain. For sure it is. Because if you're not contented, then you will never even, you know, start the journey, or you will never get to where you're going. So you get to live one day at a time because you're contented. And first of all, even as we do all this, you have to know your abilities. Like Shiro told us, you have to know your abilities so that as you move forward, you know what you're building into. You're just not, you know, building all over the place. Shiro here can do very many things. That is what God has, you know, how God has wired her. But a lot of us others, you have to focus maybe on 1 or 2 or 3 things. So you have to know your abilities, and moving forward, build yourself, build your confidence, love yourself. And when you do this, you will see that this positive energy is spreading to those around you. So I wish you go forward into building yourself. And until next time, I want to see you loving yourself. Bye-bye.